Hey guys, long time no see, first time in face, and I know I look a little different after the moving and everything, so I just wanted to let you guys know what I've been doing, and I know you've been hearing some of my recent podcasts of what I've been up to and what I've been doing, and you can tell that my entire room is different. It's different from the old room when I did these videos and when I did the films and everything. Yeah, today is January 20th, and I just want to let you guys know that I am now beginning production on the fan film remake of Power Rangers Lost Galaxy: The Rise of Trakeena. And I know I've been waiting this long to get this film made finally in its entirety, because I know in the past 3 years I've told stories about why I spent so many years working on this movie, how many, the ups and downs and the behind the scenes tumult and everything that has happened in between. In my next podcast following this vlog announcement, I want to tell you guys, I will tell you what I will do with this film now, and and what I will not do with this movie, because because I've said multiple times I've had a hard time and I had difficulties working on it and trying to put it all together, but due to constant controversies, behind the scenes, and when I wasn't working on it and dealing with people involved, and the rejections and rewrites and what was going to be in the movie and what was not going to be what I wanted in the movie, but was later rejected and been tossed into trash. Basically, some of the recycled ideas will probably be in the new film, the new version, and there will be some ideas that will not be in my new version. So, for any of you guys who are expecting what I'm going to do with this movie this time around, it's going to be very... I hope you guys appreciate what I'm going to do with the film, because I know my first movie may have been a bust, because you may know that for those who saw my first Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film was because I was under pressure, wondering if I wanted to do a similar movie that isn't this movie, but was going to, but unfortunately ended up being more of a disappointment. And due to the fact, the reason why I rushed the first movie for 2014 was because Lost Galaxy was turning 15 years old, and while Super Mega Force was going on, and of course it was the 10th anniversary of Dino Thunder at the time, and 20 years of the second season of MMPR, I had to rush Lost Galaxy's first fan film made by me, because the 15th anniversary of Lost Galaxy was fast approaching. That's why I even think the first movie ended up being more of a bigger failure than Megaforce in comparison. So I hope the Rise of Trakeena fan film remake does better than my first one. At least I still got the same green screen backdrop I bought last year for one of my few of my newer videos from last year. And I am planning on getting a new tripod so I can keep the camera steady and also get better lighting, so that way whenever I chroma key the puppets, or, well, at least toys like this Silver Ranger from Super Mega Force, despite toys are more solid than paper dolls, they can affect well behind the green screen. But it's just, when I have puppets like what I have, it just needs to be more solid. So that's why I have to work on the lighting on the film. And then also, there's going to be some ways to do something I've never did before in any of these movies that I have done, in terms of when I originally record my dialogue for each character and when I change voice. I think I need to start doing ADR voice work, because my cell phone, where is it? My cell phone has a changer app. This voice changer app where I can, change voices for the characters, for some of the characters if I'm switching from one to another. So, and also, of course, I do have the Red Galaxy Rangers' face as my background for, on my phone, because as much as I'm such a Power Rangers Lost Galaxy nut, compared to, unlike most people of other fandoms, other Power Ranger seasons that like Dino Thunder or RPM or whatever, Jungle Fury or Turbo, I'm pretty much more like one of those who gravitates to Lost Galaxy so much, because you guys know I love that series. Why do you think the channel name is what it is, since 2012? But since this is 2016, this has been 4 years since my channel's beginning, and I think it is time I redeemed myself. And like I said back in that podcast, I posted until what was going on before, afterwards, and after when the video was posted, and what caused this, what caused that. I said I was going to do this as my redemption piece. But if the movie ends up being more of a bigger failure than my first movie, then I won't be doing another one. But there's possible plans because I said I was going to do 3 movies, and I don't want to tell you what I'm going to do with the 3rd movie, and because if I tell you what will happen when I'm going to do the 3rd movie, some of you guys are expecting the exact same elements from the show, thinking I'm going to reenact everything that happened. But, basically you guys should realize I've told you this since 2 years ago, before I even started my first movie. This film is not in the same continuity as the real Power Rangers Lost Galaxy series. This is entirely my envisioning with different individuals as the Galaxy Rangers, but due to familiar clothing on 1 or 2 characters, it may feel like like the Red Ranger that I have is actually Leo, and the Blue Ranger I have is actually Kai. But unfortunately, these are just different individuals. So I get where I think you guys should know where I've been going through with this for a long time. So you guys should realize this is an entirely new thing for me when I started this, and I need you guys to realize it's not in the same continuity. Let's treat my fan film series like RPM, where it's in an entirely different universe. But Lost Galaxy, the way how I'm doing it is like the like Lost Galaxy's interpretation of RPM, but minus the whole post-apocalyptic stuff. But it's more like war after war after war. So it's like a 3-movie war kind of thing. More like Lost Galaxy meets Lord of the Rings, where, like of course in the Lord of the Rings movies, it's a trilogy of war for the Fellowship and the 2 Towers and the Return of the King. Or something between the Hobbits and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So treat my Power Rangers Lost Galaxy films like Lord of the Rings, but not as awesome or spectacular or blockbuster-esque like Lord of the Rings. So basically, it's not like Lord of the Rings, or Harry Potter for that matter, or the Hobbit trilogy, or more like the Terminator films, or any other franchise with a big concept of filmmaking that people still admire. So of course, for the first time in 6 years, after having constant rejections and everything, I have finally got a chance to bring Trakeena into my Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film. For those who have saw my last episode, this past Saturday, because you see, due to the fact I procrastinate a lot and I have other things that I have to do outside of doing these videos and the films, some of the webisodes will now have to be put on Saturdays at any time of the given day, at any given time of the following Saturday, because it was alright releasing the first few episodes of the first few episode serials. I feel like on Thursdays, I feel like it's time I put them on Saturdays or sometimes on Fridays. Make this like a Friday night dev slot for the fan film in terms of the serial, so that way, because I don't want you guys to be spoiled with what will actually come. Because I said the film will come out. I want this movie to be slated for 2019. In time for Lost Galaxy's 20th anniversary. I posted it back at one of my podcasts last year about that. If you saw the release date, June 29th, 2019. So I have 3 years of getting everything organized, 3 years without the procrastination, 3 years without the rushing. I don't want to get sidetracked. I don't want to get involved with a lot of hassle and stress, because I've been through, my body feels stressed out enough, because I wasn't organized. Everything was like falling out of place. That's why I abandoned this project the first few times. That's why I decided to do another film to see if it will be better, but I realized the 2014 film wasn't good. It wasn't as good as what I did before over 5 years ago. So here I am 6 years later, and I need to get everything in place. I need to take my time on this movie without anybody anyone telling me I can't do this, do that anymore. And like I said before, I can do this. I don't need people giving me, suggestions on what should work and what they want to see what they suggest me to do that they want to see off of this movie. Like I've done many times before on the first movie, because people were giving me, suggestions about the movie in the past, these movies in the past. So this time with this movie, I'm going to have much more creative control. Much more creative control than I did on the first one, back in my old place. But in my new place, I'm going to have some creative control. And there will be, and also for the first time with these Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan films, despite with puppets and toys and whatnot, there will be some outdoor shots. So I've already did some early cinematography using my phone's, video camera function, and also using the cameras that I use for my videos and stuff, and shoot, background plates of buildings I see that may represent where the Rangers and such characters are in. And I know that Terra Venture is not real. I mean, it's a fictional space colony in Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. But I know what I've known, and when I look back at my webisodes for the film, preluding to the events for this movie, I know you guys have been wondering, where are the background shots for Terra Venture? I mean, I know you've seen these last two episodes with the Scorpion Stinger, reusing stock footage of the Scorpion Stinger from the show, but where's the Terra Venture shots? Well, let's just say I was playing the lazy game, like with how they did with Megaforce. Yeah, me being lazy again. But this time I need to be more motivated and stop the laziness, get my act and shit together, and it's time I got this thing done after, because I know I've worked it on Rise of Trakeena since 2010. Come 2019 will be a decade since I've worked it on it. Well, actually 2020 for that matter, come 6 years from now. And this is why I am glad I am working on this without the procrastination. And even though when my dad was around, even though I'm doing this movie for him, because I know he wanted to see this, but due to what was going on elsewhere and beyond and family, that's why Rise of Trakeena at first was a failure. That's why I had to abandon it, cancel it, such and such. So Rise of Trakeena is finally being resurrected. Production starts today, and it's going to take me between now to early January or so of 2018, which will mark 3 years of production. So give me time. I know movies usually, when you have a production time, working on the movie, you usually take a couple of days or weeks or months to work on a production. But for something that I've had a hard time with in terms of its development hell period and everything, I'm going to give it 3 years of production, or 2.5 going on 3 years of production, and I also have plans on shooting these next two movies back to back, because even though regardless I will not be watching new Power Ranger seasons after Dino Supercharged this year, I will still work on this movie, but I just won't, and also still be a fan of Power Rangers. But it's just I won't be watching newer seasons. I can just go back. I will just, as a fan of a long-running show like this, I just might as well look back at the past 20 years, including Dino Charge, and just pretend Ninja Steel didn't happen, but it just happened already, since the Bond brand's already, trademarked it through Ninja. So, and of course, I know many of you guys are still a little pissed off I'm not doing any videos about Ninja or any videos about what I feel about Ninja Steel. I told you guys multiple times through podcast form, I don't give a freaking flying FUCK about Ninja or Ninja Steel, okay? I don't care for it. I mean, I'm already bad enough. I'm already angry that they didn't pick up Tokuger. So this is why Power Rangers Lost Galaxy 2, I'm incorporating some elements of Tokuger, but not most of the elements of Tokuger. Now, once when you guys see the movie, there will be some elements of Tokuger, but not a bunch of them. I'm eliminating the trains. I told you back in that podcast about the whole Lost Galaxy go Tokuger or Tokyo change stuff. So no trains for the Galaxy Rangers. They got the Galactic Beasts good enough. So the Galactic Beasts are perfect. So there's no point of having the trains for the Galaxy Rangers. So elements of Tokuger. I know the entire Power Rangers fandom from those on my Facebook group, Morphin Megaverse, and those that I know in the group. In my Power Rangers Facebook group is already doing their own versions of Tokuger through fan fiction, fan films, whatever. I'm doing the same thing where I incorporate something from Lost Galaxies era within, with some of the Tokuger stuff. And I may incorporate Go Buster material, leftover material that Dino Charge is probably not going to pick up on. But at least they did pick up on the whole creation of Neo Zell tracks, or known as Snide, for Dino Supercharge. So that's one element that they are incorporated from Go Busters. Well, mostly the Go Buster versus Kyryuger movie. Or in other reverse, that is Kyryuger versus Go Buster. Okay. Yeah, I know I can get some of the Sentai stuff mixed up sometimes, but forgive me. Don't criticize. I know what I mean. So anyway, Power Rangers Lost Galaxy: The Rise of Trakeena begins production today. 6 years in the making, trying to get this thing off the ground, getting Trakeena back on her feet, especially in terms of my reimagining of Power Rangers. And I hope you guys wish me luck for 3 years, 2.5 years on this thing, and wish me the best of luck on this one. I know I've had a stressful time working on it after multiple rejections and shutdowns and everything, criticisms and everything else, so enjoy what I have to do. I wish I had my Lost Galaxy Transmorpher right now, and I said Go Galactic, but I'm just doing it if I had it. But again, so thanks for watching my vlog, first vlog announcement, such and such. So Go Galactic. Thanks for watching.